l'altro mattine sono amatagni. Hello, my Earthling peeps out there. I have something really interesting to share. I did channeling. As you know, I've been doing channeling, and I ended up, doing channeling but automatic writing. And I felt I was supposed to channel with, believe it or not, in my book series, my When Life and Dreams Meet, the third book of the novel series, Rise, Story of a Demigod. I all throughout my books, a lot of it that I put in there is, it's semi-fiction. So it's listed as a fantasy, fiction, romance, that kind of thing, because it is a little bit of a love story in that, right? But I have different characters that, well, we know that the gods are real, right? Sobek, Bastet, all that, that's an actual history. But I'm talking about some of these other characters, at least not so much the human characters, okay, not Kareem and all that, but this character named Margret, she is in book 3, and Margret is an ET hybrid, okay, and that's how she's listed in the book, although I have her a little bit different of a mix simply for the story's sake. But I really got the feeling that I was communicating with an ET being, because I was getting this information. And by the way, her name is not actually Margret, but I called her that in honor. I wanted to honor my grandmother when I wrote book 3, because I honored my father, who passed away in 2006, and he's in book 1. My father and my uncle, I put their names. But so Margaret's after my grandmother, and the ET being, while that is not her actual name, she loves the name, and she was happy to accept that name, knowing it was to honor my grandmother. So her name was Margret. Anyhow, I really got a shocker when I started getting all this information from her. But before I did, I got the sense that between her and the Arcturian male that I've had contact with, whose name is Tavarin, I thought, I didn't know, I was like, well, which one, you guys, do I, should I talk to first or whatever? And it was funny, because I heard very clearly Tavarin saying, being a real gentleman, and he said, ladies first. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to try to channel Tavarin another day. It probably isn't going to be tomorrow, because my daughter will be on her Labor Day weekend break, and we're going to be busy with that. I might have time to do it tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm actually not picking her up till late afternoon, so I might be able to do it tomorrow. By the way, I'm thinking I'm going to have to turn this light on, because one, it's going to be really hard to read what I typed out. So is that going to work, or is that going to be too... I need it to see. So sorry if the light looks a little funny, okay? So I wanted to know more about Margret, and I got the feeling that Margret, it's funny, because before I channeled her and did this automatic writing, I got the feeling that she wants to make contact with others. Like, she connected to me, but she's wanting others to make contact with her, and that she is a benevolent ET hybrid. She's just got such a beautiful presence about her soul. She really does. And so But what I got, I was totally not prepared for in the very first lines, because you're fixing to hear. So here's what I got, and it's a little long because this went on for about 30 minutes, or at least 30 minutes for me to get the information correctly. Okay, so here it is. And these are my new frames. I have to see, right? I know I did the other day with, when I read you guys that thing, but I had to squint a little bit because, yeah, my eyes, along with the rest of me, is getting old. Okay, so here we go. Who is Margret? Hello, Monique. I have agreed to come to you with only the best and highest intentions. You may call me Margret. I am an E.T. Gray human, and from what I gathered when I get later down in here, she's an E.T. Gray human Palladian hybrid. Human Palladian hybrid. E.T. Gray human Palladian hybrid. Okay. I am your daughter through the hybridization program. I was like, what? Daughter? Like, okay. You know, I've had a lot of abduction experiences and that, but I had no idea. This really tripped me out. I was like, what? You know, I had to stop for a second. Then it was really hard because I was tearing up. Like, it was making me very emotional. Like, I just couldn't believe this. Okay? Because it really came through strong. So here's the rest of it. You are asking why I am here. Yes, I have revealed to you that I am your daughter, but this is not why I am coming forward to you at this time. I am part of a team through a meticulous design to work with you and others in this delicate time of ascension currently taking place among your species. Yes, it is true that I am reaching out to more than just you, my mother, my co-parent in my creation. I have been created by design to enhance the skills of many on your planet, including you, to help in the process of evolving your species. Now, I want to tell you that if there's some parts that the English sounds a little funny, it's just like us when we're talking in other languages that isn't our native tongue, and that, you know, there can be some, you know, I mean, some people can, you know other languages perfectly, but, you know, there are times where the English might be not quite correct. And also that I wanted to tell you before I finish going on with this, you will hear at times where she says we and not me. Now, I got the sense when I was talking with Margaret, and by the way, I did full protection, white light, and asked that it only be her and I, okay? And I asked for protection through the divine creator, and that to keep us protected as we talked, because I would only communicate with her, the benevolent being that she is, and I would not allow anything malevolent or whatever was not allowed to interfere. Okay, so, but I got the sense when her and I were talking, I could feel, because I was like, okay, whoa, and that was why I just wanted to talk with her. But I was getting the sense at times her creators or fathers or whatever you want to call it, whoever benevolent beings that she was communicating with were channeling or talking through, not channeling, but talking through to her. And then sometimes she would come out saying we instead of I. Okay, so I found that really interesting, but I just wanted to mention that. So here it goes. I am part of the ever-evolving human network to form a chain in raising the human consciousness. Your eggs were used in helping a team of sophisticated doctors and scientists. This is done with many human women as well as men to create us in order for us to work with your species in the raising of vibrational frequencies, to forward a new shift in consciousness awareness to release humans from the recycling low-frequency energy that has plagued the human race from the beginning of the human existence. My kind has been slowly trying to shift the false human design, treating your species as nothing more than lab rats, as you humans call it, for the continuation of dark negative entities remaining in control and enslaving the human species in a constant cycle of repeat. disempowering humans in the masses to keep them from accessing their true potential to exceed in existing in the to exceed I don't know how I should to exceed in existing in the higher vibrations of a heightened awareness state where I and those of other life forms exist. You can say we are like you, but the difference is that we have a special key without filters that allows us to access life-changing information. And we believe your species should have access to this too. However, the dark entities and power of your planet have blocks set in place within your minds to keep you from fully accessing it. While it is true that humankind is not meant to have full access to unlimited knowledge, they were also never meant to be enslaved, withholding so much away from them, rendering humans as a slave race rather than a better understanding of your existence and accessing your true potential that humans were supposed to have all along. We are finding, however, that many of you are getting a better understanding and seeking us out. So our communications with you is working, which is why we have been created using your own DNA combined with our own. Some species use your DNA simply to help their own species, but there are those of us who were created to assist as many of you as we can. I am a combination of you and another woman's eggs. You know this woman. You and she are both my mothers, and my fathers are of the Gray and Pleiadian origins. So I was like, huh? What? Now here's the funny thing. I had a dream probably about 3 months back, 2 or 3 months ago, and it was very, very vivid, very lucid dream. And I saw myself on a ship, and I saw my co-host on their Aurora. We were both in, she was in coming out of a pod, and I was coming out of they had these pods, and so she was getting out of a pod, and I was getting out of a pod, and it was on this ship, and it looked like the pods in the ship, it looked organic, is how I can explain, is the best way I can explain it. It was just, it was really wild. I remember there being like kind of like blackish tinted windows. I mean, blackish in color, tinted, what do you call them? Oval shaped, not horizontal, but like, not vertical, but horizontal shaped windows around and that. And, yeah, so it was just very interesting seeing this. So I wonder, after that dream, and I was telling her how wild it was, and here was the weird thing about it, was she told me this was before we had any of that, or before I got this channeling where I was doing automatic writing, and she had told me it was just like a couple days prior, saying, I swear, she says, it's so weird how so many of us are located. We were talking about some of our other friends that live in the area that are in the ET UFO community, and she says it's so weird, like it's like we're all meant to be in this area for some reason. She says, I swear, she says that you and I have been on a ship together. And there's a guy in our group that she also feels was also probably on that ship with us. So it's like, then all of a sudden I get this. So I thought it was really cool. But anyways, that's, yep, that's my message for today. So I want to wish you all an amazing, wonderful Labor Day weekend, and sending love, peace, and I'll finish off with a little light language. Oh, and I did light language before I channeled this. Okay, so here we are. Ho Roma natakni efu ho soma eke ho romati. All right, guys, have a wonderful and amazing day, evening, wherever you are. Bye.